So,
shall we?
Let's do it.
Cool. Hello.
Okay.
Welcome back.
This is going to be a really interesting, fun kind of podcast that we've got for you. And there's a special link for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So October in Fostering is Children Foster Carers Month, where we celebrate sort of the role of birth children and foster carers within the fostering process, because I think it's something that's often overlooked and they sort of miss the wider fostering household and the role that plays in that. Yeah. So without further ado, should we welcome our guests, plural?
Definitely. We've got 2 guests with us today. So we'd like to introduce everyone to Kati and Zana. Would you like to kind of introduce yourselves and tell everyone a little bit about who you are?
Yeah. So I am Kati. I am a foster carer. I've been a foster carer for many, many years. I predominantly foster teenage students or children. That's me.
Amazing.
And I'm Zana and I'm her daughter. I don't really know what else there is to it, to be fair.
You've been there all along the way.
there the whole time, really, that Mum's been fostering. And yeah.
You've been part of the journey, fostering together for Devon for how many years?
I think it's 8 or 9,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah. We'll get a little flash up in the corner. We'll check that with Devon. And there's been some disagreement in the room. Is that how we fit?
Fact check you.
I got one wrong at one of the earlier podcasts. I was like, this is definitely episode 6 or 7, and it was the wrong one. So I was like, brilliant.
We're not naming them anymore.
No.
We're not numbering them.
Exactly.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
But this is an extra special podcast because there's so many little connections in this one. So we've worked together before, so it's very strange now doing it in this circumstance. And obviously, so Katie, you know Drew, our wonderful podcast everything, who's hiding off camera somewhere.
He's around here somewhere hiding. So how did fostering come about into your family?
So we did it all a little bit backward, really. I ran a performing arts academy, and I had a student who was already in the care system. He'd just moved out of his long-term placement. It just broke down. He'd been there for a very long time, but it had broken down, and he was at the time sofa surfing, staying on people's staying at different friends' houses, and he really needed someone and something, and we'd already had a really good relationship anyway. I've always wanted to foster, always. It was something, I didn't have a brilliant childhood, so I wanted to give something back, and, give someone else a chance to have, what they sometimes don't have. So, he was in need, so I was like, I need to do something about this. So I spoke to his social worker, and he ended up with us. It was agreed that he could come and stay with me for a little while as a
kinship carer?
Yeah, kinship carer.
Or connected carer is another word that people might know.
Yeah. And so he came to us. He was told at school, right, you're going to Katie's tonight. So I couldn't pick him up. He had to ride home. He had a bike. And he just rode straight to mine that night. So then I started my training, and it took me, we did it as quickly as possible so he could, so I would be a proper foster carer, and that
went
sort of
from there.
Yeah, sort of went from there. We only had a little 2-bedroom house at the time, and Zana was still home before she went to uni, and I had to move out of my bedroom, so he had a room, and then I was living in the living room. But I mean, it worked, but it was a very small house, wasn't it? And we were on top of each other quite a bit, but it worked, and we moved, didn't we? And then
your fostering journey continued from there.
Yeah, well, within a couple of days after I finally got the
approval.
Approval.
Yeah.
I was approved to 0 to 18 and two children, and within a couple of days I had another teenager. Yeah,
amazing.
He was supposed to come for a few days, and she's only just moved out. So
all of a sudden you've got Zana at home, who's a teenager, and then you all of a sudden, you've got more teenagers moving into the house.
Yeah.
So it got busy very quickly.
How did you find it, sort of, in those first few?
I think at first it was a shock because it happened so quickly. Like, I knew Mum had wanted to do the foster caring, but I knew that there was a process to it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the process wasn't happening, and we were just having another child coming to stay with us. And I think it was hard because I knew that Mum had moved out of her bedroom, and it was like, it wasn't a big house. It was fine, it worked, but it wasn't.
No, it was quite small.
It was small, and Mum didn't have a room and stuff like that. And me and Mum are very close, always have been very close, so that was a bit like a shock. But
someone sort of coming in.
Yeah,
in between us.
But I think I was old enough to understand. I obviously still had my concern. Like, I was
worries.
worries,
what
and I
does
was a
this
teenager,
mean?
and this was my mum. Like,
yeah.
But no, we had spoken about it, and I was old enough to understand, like, what good it was doing, and it was fine, really. I do remember at the time wishing that it was babies that you were having, and then as the time goes on, it was like more teenagers, and I was like, well, why can't we have babies? But actually, no, I think the teenagers was, obviously it has to be what works for Mum. Mum is a foster carer at the end of the day, but yeah,
I mean, it wasn't I didn't go out to do teenagers. It just worked. It just
happened, isn't
yeah,
it?
it is. And I've actually got to stay put at the moment, and I've been talking to my supervisor, social worker, about what happens next, and if I can, when I have another child, I expect, what age will be the best, you know, and I would love, well, any really. I've never really had a preference. I did think I'd want babies, but.
And I think that's great because actually that goes back to what we've talked about before, which is about kind of the matching and finding the right home for the right child and for you, and that fits into your home, you know, rather than being so age specific.
My last one, the last one that came to us, I don't think she could have been more fitted for for us. Like, you know, they obviously I chose the first one, if you like, but she's just like fitted in so well, and
Is that the young person that's staying with you and just staying put?
Yeah.
And we've had people say to us like, "Oh, you can tell your sisters," and we just look at each other like.
How do you feel when you hear things like that?
We're really close, so
Yeah.
it is like we're sisters. So and if I'm talking to people, and unless I'm going into depth about my relationship or something, I just say it's my sister. Yeah. So, and I do it with all of them, to be fair. I wouldn't really explain unless I had to, because they are family at the end of the day. Yeah. So
exactly.
I remember doing for your birthday in lockdown, we did a quiz all about Zana, and one of the questions I had for everybody was, how many siblings?
I was like, I don't know how to answer this.
Oh, that's lovely though, isn't it? Yeah.
Because they're also the young people that have come to live with you, like you said, are part of your family, and have continued to be part of your family, and your ever growing family.
Yeah.
So like being aunties and uncles to
absolutely
your little ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel blessed that my kids have got so many aunties and uncles, like that they can say my family's so big, and they've got all this love around them. So it's lovely.
Yeah, it works both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it really
definitely.
does. And we are lucky with who we've had in our lives and who we still have in our lives, aren't we? You know, we're lucky to share our lives with them as much as they are happy with, you know, to spend their time with us. So,
what would you say are some of the things that you really enjoyed about being the child of somebody who fosters? Or any of the positive, any of the memories, anything that you can kind of funny stories that you can remember?
I don't know, help me.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I think what was the question? I've forgotten already.
Good stuff. Funny stories.
Funny stories, things that you kind of maybe remember. We've talked about some of the worries and some of the anxieties, but actually what are some of the positive things, some of the funny stories? You've talked about extending your family and your family kind of growing.
I mean, the growing of the family is
kind
great,
of like
isn't
the
it?
biggest thing, isn't
It's
it?
great, and it is like what I think we've already said about, or you said about the children having a more extended family, which is great, and things. I can't believe we can't think of anything funny, because we we're laughing all the time.
All the time,
Yeah. You know, with your TikToks. What about the TikTok where you?
Yeah, so when I was doing the accents with one of the girls.
Yeah. That,
And we're both awful at accents. So
Yeah.
we're trying to
Fair.
do the accent challenge, and it was just like.
and that was in lockdown, wasn't it? Like we did for the academy, we did a weekly challenge, and one of them was sending your best accents and things. So these guys thought that they'd do theirs. It like. Yeah,
I personally think we both sounded great.
Did you not win? Yeah.
It was hilarious. Like they were practicing and I was videoing behind because it was just so funny, and they were like crying with laughter and everything.
We were talking about accents as well,
We
weren't
were,
we,
yeah.
before the start? Yeah.
But that's so
Yeah.
nice. We talk about like the little wins almost within fostering. It's things you never even think about, like
Yeah.
doing or getting involved in that actually just for it. You kind of have, and it's just become like second nature, and that's such a nice thing to hear, and it breaks down those barriers, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It makes everyone feel, like you say.
When our youngest one was at Zana's house one day, we they video called me, and
It was when we had foil on our teeth.
they were dressed as boys with foil on their teeth, foil necklaces, hats back to front, like drawn on beard lines.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was like they were crying, like absolutely crying with laughter. They couldn't even talk to me because they were so laughing so much. It was brilliant.
I feel like a lot of the stuff we do is just like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was just like silly, but it's just funny.
Isn't that kind of
It's
a lot of
family,
things?
yeah.
It's family.
Yeah, it's nice. I've not had sisters growing up either,
No.
so for me it's that added. I love it.
And like I hate shopping, and
really?
I've
Yeah.
never really been that into makeup.
Not
I mean,
until
they've
recently.
taught me recently, but like I hate it. So she's got like ready-made people to go shopping with and get nails done with, and all of
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
which
yeah.
you've really loved, haven't you? Like. So that's been. I mean, I finally caved in and do makeup now, but before, you know, yeah. So and that is brilliant for me because I do not have to take either of them or any of them
Yeah,
shopping.
no, you don't. Not at all.
So that works really well.
You send us shopping for you now,
Yeah.
don't you?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's good, isn't it?
You mentioned lockdown actually, and I guess I hadn't really thought about kind of fostering during lockdown. That was, you know, we all think about it in kind of different ways and kind of what happened. But again, you were also probably not long into your fostering journey when all of that happened as well.
We loved it, didn't we?
Did you?
We had the best time. We really did. We had we did obstacle courses and challenges. We had because initially everyone was home, weren't they? Not even the children were at school or anything. So we did quite a bit of work at home, which was quite a struggle. Luckily, I'm a trained teacher, so that sort of was quite good.
yes.
Yeah.
I helped too.
Yeah, you did.
Help with maths.
You did help with maths.
Love it.
Thank goodness. Yeah. And we did like I mean, I do not like science, but we did like experiments and things like that, making a lava lamp and all of that sort of stuff. So I just tried to make it as fun as possible. And we did have we did like, and with our academy and doing the challenges, we did adverts because. Made an advert about legs, buying a pair of legs, which was hilarious, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, we made sock puppets and like so, we did a lot, but it was hard work at times in terms of the emotional state and being stuck in and not being able to go out, as it was for everybody, you know. So
And all of us all together as well. It's mental.
yeah,
isn't it?
because
And
your
one of the-
partner as well was
Yeah.
living with us at the time as well. So there was quite a few of us in one house, like 2 foster children, those 2, me.
And one of them hadn't been with us for that long.
No,
Had she?
No.
So
yeah, so it was.
quite a big thing at that time.
Yeah.
Would you kind of have anything that you would kind of advise people who are thinking about fostering, who have their own children? Because one of the things that we often hear, and we talked about this kind of beforehand, but what we often hear is, you know, I'm going to wait till my children are older. I'm going to wait till they've gone off to uni, or, you know, wait till they've moved out. And actually, the complete opposite ended up happening for you. And I know it was in an unplanned way, but it became kind of something that you kind of both did together. Just didn't know if you had any thoughts to kind of share with anybody that was considering it.
I mean, I think I initially was going to wait until you know, until I had a space, I had the time, you know, and Zana was at uni, but actually the way it happened was brilliant because it was nice to expand the family, I think, and I think it's worth going out there, looking into it, and having a go, because I think it's made you grow emotionally, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I've learnt so much.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
And actually it's really quite funny watching her with her with her daughter, you know, her approach to parenting is it's brilliant, watching her, how she's what she's picked up and how she understands things. It's really, really good, I think. And it's brilliant for Bella Rose as well. You know, she loves that she's got different aunties to do different things with, and different people. I think it's, you know, it's great, and it can be scary. It really can be scary, as I've already said. You know, worrying about them coming in or anything, and you worry about what there's a stigma about misbehaving children coming into your home, and like. My matching's been so good.
Yeah.
We have never had anything like that. It's always been really positive, and well, I say it's always been really positive. There are negative things. Of course there are.
Family
there are in
challenges.
every family.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, they forgotten where I was going with that.
So you were talking about kind of the matching, and that they, you know, got it right.
Yeah, and that's enabled us to experience some really brilliant stuff with you know, and really brilliant children, and it's enabled us to have that time with them as well, and like, I truly am grateful for the time I've had with the children that have come to us. Really am, and I'm really grateful for my birth children as well, and my son and his two children. You know,
I think it's about being open with the people that are there.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you were so open with me about what came with fostering.
Yeah.
And for years we spoke about it and everything. So I was prepared at the point when it did happen. You don't have to wait, but you don't have to wait.
No.
And the conversations and stuff that can be had. And I think sometimes it can be nice to have those people around. Like, so often we come to each other, maybe one of them's annoyed me, and you'll like siblings would, but she'll kind of explain to me, oh, actually this is probably why that's happening, and I do the same to you. Oh, actually, if we think about what's happened, like, we're a good soundboard for each
100%,
other.
yeah.
So it's nice to have that and be able to, maybe if you were doing it as a partnership, then like if you had a boyfriend.
It's just got personal now, yeah.
It's getting serious now.
No, I know what you mean. If I had a partner,
If you had a partner, you would have been doing it together. So
yeah, for me, having you there has been
that's what I'm kind of trying to say.
No,
We know what you meant.
absolutely, really, really important.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't have done it on my own, and it is a big thing for fostering. They do need to know that you've got a good network, a support network, because it can be draining and it can be tiring and hard work, but it is worth it. It really is worth it.
I love it. And is there any advice you would give to people sort of in your position, if prospective foster carers have sort of birth children, that you think they should know? Or I love putting you on the spot.
Yeah,
it's
I
quite
know.
tired and have to carry.
Just don't worry.
Yeah.
Just don't. You can't preempt what's going to happen. You can't presume the way someone's going to behave when they come in.
Yeah.
Just be open to accepting the person that's coming in, and then you're more likely to be able to build that relationship with them. Yeah. That's kind of, I think, the way I think, and it's helped. So
Yeah, and whilst you're the foster carer, Katie, like you as a family are fostering, and it's really important that you're part of that journey, and you are able to ask those questions. So anybody who does have children that think about fostering, you know, there will be those opportunities that to ask those questions, to be part of the assessment, to be maybe even part of some support groups, or, you know, meeting with other children and young people whose parents also foster. You know, I think that's really important, that the support is there for you as the child of somebody who fosters. And that you've got that support network, because it is a massive change for you as well. So we talk about the supervising social worker being there for the foster carer and things, but it's about your relationship as well.
Definitely, yeah.
What's next for you, kind of fostering?
So my second one has not long moved out.
Yes.
She's doing really well. She's got a lovely little flat. She's got a wonderful job. Really, really proud of her. When she moved, I rent my house, so we had to move to a smaller house, which was a little bit cheaper for rent, etc. So currently, I have a bed on hold, and I have my stay put. I'm sure in time that will change, and we will, you know, I have already
Expand the family more.
Exactly. I've talked to my social worker, and we've talked about what the right age would be. I think, given I work quite a bit now, because I've expanded quite a lot, so it needs to be someone a bit older, but because I provide long-term fostering, we sort of said probably around 12 years old, something like that, someone in secondary school. So, and also with my grandchildren being so much younger as well, I think it's better for them not to have someone exactly the same age that could possibly cause some emotional difficulties. So we've said, probably about 12, and that would work for my stay put as well. So
It's quite often when people are thinking about fostering and they have their own children, you know, there is that question: do we go for a similar age? Do we actually potentially prevent any difficulties and we go for somebody younger or somebody older? Kind of for yourselves, it was almost that kind of similar age. And then I've worked with some fostering families before, and they've had 2-3-year-olds, and they fostered 16-year-olds, and it's just really beautiful as well, watching the 16-year-olds playing with the kind of the little ones as well, and just allowing them to kind of be a child and kind of play. So I think it's about, there is no right or wrong way of doing it. It's about what works for your family.
Absolutely.
And that that child or young person.
Yeah, because we have had, I had one child or one young person who was the same age as one I had, and there were more difficulties there than there were with anything else, and that one again was, it was knowing somebody who, and knowing, sort of it got, that's why they were placed with me, and that was quite a big learning curve. I think it really is important that the matching is made, and that you
I think the age thing as well, there is so much to think about, literally so much, because I would have never thought about it, but with her and the current girl being so close in age, they had a really good relationship, and then when the placement broke down and she no longer lived with you, that relationship broke down as well, and they kind of lost touch.
Right.
So that's another thing,
and it's another loss for them.
Another loss, and it's like they were so close. I think it was probably because of their age being so close. How do you negotiate that? It's just that's just proves that there's no right answer. It's just got to be what works for you and for them, and the situation.
Everyone who's already living in the household and anyone who's going to be living in there. Absolutely. And in terms of kind of fostering for Devon, you know, it sounds like obviously kind of the matching works really well within Devon, but in terms of kind of the support, either kind of for yourself or for yourself, what's it like for Devon in terms of the support available?
I mean, I'm incredibly lucky. I've had 2 supporting social workers, and both have been phenomenal, absolutely brilliant. I think she knows me better than myself. She knows I won't say no, so she has to do it for me, and she knows that I will run myself ragged until I've bled every bit from my emotional cup, and for everybody else, but she's aware and she stops me before I do it. You know,
Yeah,
so
good.
I am incredibly lucky there, and she will make sure that the match is right and blah, blah, you know, absolutely brilliant, really, really, really lucky. You haven't had that much support, have you, at all,
No,
really?
but I wouldn't say I've needed it because I go through you.
Yeah, and because of your age, you sort of have missed out on the children, the birth children and fostering like activities as well. So
yes, there might be kind of maybe things for younger children that may not suit as you when you're 18.
So when you're older, it's not sort of there, and well, it hasn't been there for you.
No, but I wouldn't say that's not really. I think it is just, it's not really been needed. I think if we'd have needed it and we could have reached out and got support probably, but we've not needed
Sharon
it.
would have thought, oops, I don't know, I was supposed to say I know.
Social worker's fine.
It's fine,
yeah,
yeah, she would
definitely.
have and she would do. She would, without a doubt. So,
but you get like training and stuff like that, and you do courses and stuff, which helps to understand a lot of situations. Because I quite like talking to you about what you've learned.
Yeah.
And with working as well, how do you find it alongside that? Has it been...
She doesn't just work though, she also babysits my kids.
There are many different types of jobs.
She does loads of work. Basically. No, what I'm trying to say is she does loads.
We've got super Katie.
Yes. So recently it's been quite tricky because I have just expanded and we're like I'm sorting out like a team in my new academy, like my new location. So I've done quite a bit of work. I wouldn't have been able to have a younger child then. You know, luckily my young person is at an age now where we've gone through a lot of, like, she's built up into becoming that independent person. She still needs me an awful lot at times, but I can sort of focus a lot more on my work at the moment. But in the past, like, all of them have worked for me. I worked there. 3 of them attended.
Yeah.
So they're very much part of that work as well. You know, I haven't quite got them to do what you used to do, and that, like, my photocopying and my laminating yet. That's not.
Yeah, but I'm a bit of a stranger when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But yeah, they're always really involved. So, like, thankfully that's been, and because it's a creative thing, I'm always making things so they can help with creative side and
it's different opportunities they might not have had before.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it has been, you know, good that, because performing arts is great for confidence building and self-esteem and all of that. So even if they didn't want to do that later on, they've had that opportunities, the opportunities from there to really shine as well and succeed in things. So that's been really
It all links in really, doesn't it? And I think it shows how much it links in that the first person that came to you was from there. But like, it does all link in.
You mentioned about the training, Zana.
Yeah.
And I just wondered, like, with your mum going through that process and going through all of the training, I just wondered if you saw your mum kind of parenting differently.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. So often. So often I'm like, why are you doing it like that? You never did it like that with me. Or like with my brother, like, I'm like, this is so different. But then that's the times when mum will kind of explain to me, oh, this is why it needs to be done this way. I think, it's sometimes I'm just like, well, you just need to just tell them to do this, like.
I had all these boundaries and things that I wasn't allowed to do, and now
boundaries are so different, but then it's understandable they've got different boundaries. So
also they come to me with very little boundaries, and you've got to like incorporate them in their learning of this, our family, you know, and that. So
I can be quite harsh, and I'll probably notice it with raising my little girl. Like, I'm just like, well, just like, if you're anxious about it, go and do it. But obviously that's not going to work so well. with some of the other kids. So it's just different. Which is
and I have learnt
understandable.
an awful lot over the years. You know, I trained as a teacher quite late in life, and I had my birth children very young. So my parenting has changed dramatically over the time, and learning to be a teacher was like so eye opening on the way things are done, like have been done in the past, and way I was and things. So and then. Sorry. Go on.
No, I was going to say it's that constant learning curve, isn't it?
100%.
You're learning as a parent, then you're learning as a teacher, then you're learning as a foster parent, and it's that you're learning with each child. And actually, who you are now is probably someone very different to how you were when you very first started parenting.
We were kind of talking about that last night, weren't we? Because you were saying to me how my parenting is so different to what you used to parent like. But was 9 years older when I had my first child, so that's different. And also,
She said 9 years older then, not 9 years old.
Thank you.
But like times change, don't they? And like what you learn, and so I can't remember what my point was, to be honest.
But yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've said already, I am really, really proud of, and I do think a lot of that has stemmed from my training and things.
Well, okay. Is there anything else that we'd like to ask? Anything else we'd like to know?
I suppose, do you have any advice, I guess, for people who are thinking about becoming foster carers? You'll see on the board behind Carrie and yourself, so I know there's some advice on there for people we've had in those seats before. What would you say to someone considering becoming a foster carer?
I think be open-minded. Make sure that you're strong enough to wait for the matching to be thought through properly, because there can be some really sad stories out there, and you want to save everyone and you can't fix people. That's one very big thing. Like you just can't fix people. You can help them, you can support them, you can give them a different path to take, but you can't fix them. Doesn't mean that you can't help them dramatically and along the way and set a new blueprint for them in the future. But I did spend quite a lot of time pulling myself apart, wanting to fix somebody or fix everybody around me in everything. But no, you can't do that. But knowing that, having those sad stories and wanting to take them all under your wing, and I've had messages through the summer of poor children that desperately need someone, and I'm but it's not right time. You've got to wait and talk through with your supporting social worker.
Trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. I think be open with your family, and give it a go, because if you can help one person, then brilliant. Yeah.
You've had some time to think.
I was going to say, similarly to like trust the process, trust the people that are around you, the fostering teams that you've got, and use them to your advantage with talking, and make sure you talk. Don't keep it bottled up. Talk it out.
Ask those questions, because those anxieties or those worries, that doesn't mean that you don't want this to happen. It's natural kind of conversations to be able to have, and then natural thoughts and feelings. And actually there's people around that are able to kind of support that. So, yeah. Okay.
I was going to say something else. Just gone now, sorry.
It's all right, I'll come back later. You'll be driving home. You're like, I know what it was.
Message me, we'll get it out somewhere.
We'll get it on a screen grab somewhere. Well, thank you both.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So much for joining. I think it's beautiful to hear your story. Amazing to see you two together, and I can just kind of imagine how kind of crazy and funny things can kind of get in your house sometimes.
We'll be looking out for TikToks now.
Looking out for TikToks,
Yeah,
definitely.
there's lots of them. I think there's one my young person got in a bag, a rucksack on my back.
Isn't there one of them in a black? Oh no, that's me in a black bag.
Sorry.
I might just give you a TikTok to take over for a week or something. Fancy it. Yeah.
Take it over.
It was all the trends in lockdown, I think, when we were all together. That's what. Yeah. Yours is the best TikTok. Mine's boring. Mine's makeup, but yours has got the funny videos on it.
Mine's only funny.
There's definitely lots of laughter in your household.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just, we love how you've talked about how your family expanded, and that you were kind of part of the whole process. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I know that people will be really kind of interested to kind of have listened, and hopefully people to kind of answer some of the questions that you might have. So if you are thinking about kind of fostering, and you do have children in your home, or any age, you know, and you're really not sure, again, reach out to us. We can answer some of those questions that you might have. We can provide or kind of find people that you might be able to kind of talk to and ask some of those questions. But a massive thank you to Kati and Zana. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
See you on TikTok again soon.
Yeah.